What's going on, my people? We back with another video, and this is uh I don't know his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I ain't gonna even try. But yeah, he was a Philly rapper. Got disrespected and got killed. Let's hear a little bit about him. Majority of people probably click on this. They probably heard about him for real.
IBC Duel took disrespect to another level and even dug up an Opps grave. And one day after he bragged about
Nigga
never
already.
getting touched, the Opps caught up to him and left him dead in the street. It's one of the most brutal stories in the rap game. And today, we're breaking the whole thing down. On August 23rd, 2024, YBC Duel and his homies were sitting in a whip on the 5500 block of North 6th Street in Philly when another car pulled up and started letting off shots. Duel got hit in the chest and hand and couldn't drive. So his
Dang.
homie got in the driver's seat and rushed him to a house a couple blocks away. His homies put Duel in another car and drove him to the hospital, but it was already too late and Duel was pronounced dead later that day.
Oh
The
wow.
cops don't have any suspects, but they found a stolen car that had been set on fire close to the scene, and they think the shooters burned the whip to get rid of the evidence. And while the cops are still looking at Duel's crime scene, another dude got killed on the north side just a couple hours after Duel died. The cops say a 33-year-old dude was walking down the 600 block of North 12th Street when two shooters pulled up and started shooting. The dude ran behind the whip, but the shooters kept letting off shots and hit a 9-year-old boy in the leg. Luckily, the kid survived, but the other guy was announced dead at the hospital. It's not clear if the shootings are related or not, but the violence definitely won't end. But before we dive into the brutal gang war tearing up Philly right now, we gotta see how YBC Duel got wrapped up in everything and became the most hated rapper in Philly. Duel was raised
That's
on
a
the north
coat
side when he
shirt.
was
Hey bro, you don't really see a lot of people rock those. That was unique of him rocking a coat shirt.
a kid, but when he turned 10 years old, his family moved to the west side. He got active in the streets at an early age, but back in the day, it wasn't anything too serious. Duel was
Right.
jacking whips and taking them for joyrides, and then at 14 years old, he caught
Damn.
his first case for stealing the car. Duel wasn't gonna have to do a lot of time for taking the car, but then he caught another charge for beating someone up in school and got booked for aggravated assault. Duel ended up in juvie for a few years, but when he came home, the situation was about to really get deadly. After Duel moved to the west side, he got tight with a lot of people around the area and started running with them. But at first, none of them were gangbanging. They were all just trying to get money. And that's when his homies, J100 and Baby Ka came up with the name Young Bag Chasers, aka YBC. Back
Damn.
then, they were all focused on getting to the bag. But then,
Right.
one of their homies died and everything changed.
Oh.
On May 29th, 2019, Joshua David Munson, aka YBC Josh, was chilling on the 4200 block of Wyalusing Avenue when someone in a Dodge Ram parked around the block and ran over to where Josh was. It's
Wow.
not clear exactly how it went down, but the dude who ran over started busting shots at Josh and then went back to his whip. Josh was rushed
Oh.
to the hospital and lived for 2 days, but he couldn't recover from the shots and
Wow. Man, that either could have been some hating or that could have been just some nigga you was doing wrong out here. Like, don't forget, just because you up, you was doing wrong out here. But, like, dang.
ended up dying. And that's when YBC started turning up in the streets. A
Uh,
few months after YBC Josh died, YBC allegedly clapped back and killed an op named Buddy.
oh.
YBC was also beefing with 39th Street, and after they allegedly killed Buddy, two dudes from YBC allegedly got into a shootout with a dude from 39th Street named Fro. Fro was allegedly one of the top shooters for 39th Street, and rumors say he killed a dude named BL who was cool with YBC. At the same time, YBC was beefing with a crew from Belmont, aka the Mont, and they allegedly killed a dude from there named Q Raw in January 2021. YBC still wanted to get back at Fro, and a couple months later, they got some bad info that Fro was going to be getting out of jail. Some YBC dudes waited outside the prison and wanted to kill Fro as soon as he walked out, but they ended up killing an innocent dude named Rodney Hargrove instead. Then in May 2021, YBC turned up even more and killed two people in the same day. Nazir Marks was about to grab
God almighty. Good God. Man, who could keep up with this stuff? This man ought to be a SWAT team by all these killings or RICO case. Because he be keeping up with every last one of these. That's a lot of killing, bro. And to know who he related or he was cool with, affiliated with. Dang, he jumping around.
Played high school and was supposed to be the first person in his family to go to college. But 2 weeks before he graduated, he stepped off a bus and was shot to death by Reek 1200 and Murder
Wow.
K from YBC. It's not clear why they killed Nazir Marks, but they weren't finished yet. After they killed Nazir Marks, Reek 1200 and Murder K ditched their whip and hopped in another car to slide on Kanye Pittman. Kanye Pittman was hanging out behind his school and talking to a friend when YBC walked him down and killed him. YBC wasn't just putting pressure on the ops in the street though. They were also dissing pretty much every gang in the city. And Reek 1200 self-snitched like crazy when he hopped on the track No Get Back and rapped, "Don't get it twisted, bitch. I still pop it out that cut. He out of luck. Caught his ass up on that side. He should have ducked. We spin back to back, 2 bodies in 1 day. They know what's up. We get it done, get that drop, and drop his ass. This shit for fun." YBC was tearing up the city, and a couple months later, they killed 2 more people. In July 2021, K3, his homie Snipe, and 2 other friends were all going to play basketball. K3 was a star athlete and wanted to play in college, and reports say he wasn't involved with the streets at all. K3's mom had just bought him a car so he could drive to basketball practice. He picked up Snipe and 2 other homies to go play. But then YBC Curry and another dude from YBC named F5 pulled up and started letting off shots.
Oh, wow.
K3 and Snipe were both killed, and YBC has been dissing them like crazy, even though they allegedly weren't the intended targets. At the same time, YBC was still hunting Fro hard, and in May 2021, they shot up his house and ended up hitting his little sister instead. Fro's family knew they had to get out of there before the situation got worse, so they moved all the way across town and stayed out of the drama. Usually, that would have been enough to stay safe, but YBC wasn't going to stop until they killed Fro. After Fro's family moved, YBC Curry actually went around the neighborhood with pictures of Fro's mom and started asking random people if they had seen her.
Oh, wow.
The people in Fro's new neighborhood had no idea that his family moved to get away from the violence, so they told Curry where he could find them, and that's when Curry completely crashed out. After Curry found out where Fro was living, he went sliding on Fro and caught him outside his crib. Curry chased Fro down and started letting off shots. Fro made it inside the house, but Curry kept shooting and killed Fro, and his dad too. The cops pulled up while Curry was still at Fro's crib though. Curry started busting shots at them too and ran away, but the cops found him a few minutes later while he was trying to hide underneath a car. YBC was going crazy in the streets, but their ops weren't the only ones taking losses. In 2022, the ops caught up to Baby Kyle from YBC and lit him up while he was sitting in his whip. Baby Kyle was one of the dudes who started YBC, and the ops really wanted him gone. So they shot him over 25 times just to make sure he didn't survive. Then the ops took out YBC Fetty, and rumors say he was YBC Duel's blood cousin. Nobody was booked for the hit, but a lot of people think he was killed by a crew called CCK. CCK is a clique of 3 different crews: the Clappers from 56th Street, the Clappers from 7th Street, and the Campers. YBC had beef with all of them before they clicked up, and after Fetty got killed, Lil Bucks from the Campers dropped the track Lonely Child and rapped, "Young Bull walks to the store, but he ain't make it back. Your homie died, you ain't slide, you went to make a track. Fetty hot as shit in them boots, he tried to bust a trap. My name always on that radar, on that dispatch." YBC was losing a lot of members, and then they took another big loss when J100 got killed. According to reports, Jay was shooting a music video and gave out his location to the ops. They pulled up to the scene and started letting off shots, and J100 got hit in the head and was dead by the time police got there. After he died, J100 was getting dissed by people all over Philly. Even K3's mom hopped on IG Live with Lil Bucks and started clowning him. But YBC was still the most disrespectful crew in the city, and YBC Duel took it to another level. When YBC Duel hopped in the booth, he started dissing dudes from all over the city, and fans started calling him Mr. Disrespectful because of how much he was clowning his dead ops. Like on the track So Many Names, when he raps, "It's Mr. Disrespectful. We dropped so many shells on the 9, that shit the gun range. I can't wait to catch Quasi. He keeps saying bro name. I'm smoking Fro right now. He called that switchy to the brain. Snipe got caught up at the light. K3 just had to feel the flame. And that young bull from the back block tried to run. They did him bad. Sid got did the worst way. That switchy hit him and his dad. They gon' keep telling niggas, Ben the 9, his sister got tagged. Q Rizzy got hit with 2 shots. That pound put him on his ass. Duel was sending shots at dudes who weren't even involved with the war. Back in 2023, a dude named Booger was
say that again.
He got hit with 2 shots. That pound put him on his ass. Duel was sending shots at dudes who weren't even involved with the war. Back in 2023, a dude named Booger was leaving his job at McDonald's when someone pulled up and shot him to death. Booger wasn't in the streets, but his brother is a dude from CCK named Sonny Goon. According to rumors, the shooters couldn't get at Sonny Goon, so they killed his brother instead.
Oh my
And on the
gosh.
track McButtons and McNuggets, YBC Duel dissed Booga and raps, and we known for cracking noggins.
Buggets
Just ask
and
Sonny about
McNuggets.
McDonald's. Caught Uga walking out that job and left his face red like he Ronald. And on McButtons and McNuggets Part 2, Duel raps, we catch niggas while they clocking out. Nigga worked at McDonald's, pussy shoulda took a different route. In the beginning of the video for Part 1, YBC Duel and his homies also pulled up to an actual McDonald's to order some food and told the cashier he wanted the Ooga Booga sauce. YBC had enemies all around their block, but they were also linked up with P&B and the Tortures. They have a lot of the same ops, and YBC Duel started dissing P&B's ops too. P&B Rock was the biggest rapper from the set, and in 2016, his brother Steph was allegedly killed by a dude named Nemo who repped a crew called the West Side Mafia. Nemo ended up getting killed a year later, and dudes from P&B and the Tortures started dissing him immediately. YBC Duel is tight with a dude from P&B and the Tortures named Hop Out Blick. Right now, Hop Out Blick is facing murder charges over a brutal shooting, but before he got booked, he linked up with Duel on the track So Many Names and raps. Nemo caught a face shot. Ski Lack caught a headshot. He was trolling on that gram, that shit got his man shot. P&B and the Tortures also had beef with a crew called the Black Flags. Back in 2021, Shido and another dude from the Black Flags named Neef Curry were driving down the road when the ops caught up to him and started letting off shots. Shido got hit twice in the head and couldn't move the right side of his body, and Curry was pronounced dead at the scene. And on the track Diss the Dead, YBC Duel dissed both of them and raps. Sitting there, rolling up the dead ops. How the fuck that boy still alive? He caught a headshot. They tell me don't diss the dead. I'm like, I can't stop. Hop Out Blick and Duel were dissing their ops like crazy. But then Hop Out Blick self-snitched and got caught up in a wild murder case.
You know what's crazy? He doing all this goddamn dissing and dissing. Davey don't want. He wearing that ski mask. That man probably got wear the ski mask in the house by himself. Boy.
According to the cops, Blick and his homies set up a gun sale and decided to rob the dudes who were gonna buy the straps. The robbery went left though, and everyone started shooting, and when it was over, 3 people were dead. Blick did the race for a few months, but he basically told the cops how it went down on an unreleased track where he rapped, "We fried La, now he can't pop no more willies. Them big ass 40 hoes looked like he felt a 10 milli. They should have played it smart and just gave up them glizzies. They made a wrong move and then my twin let off his switchy. He took that risk and we shot Leaky in his kidney. This nigga got me teed. Like how you make it to the dock? They can't stop the tease cause we keep torching on they block." Blick wasn't the only dude YBC Duel was linking up with in the booth though. Duel started buzzing in Philly but was getting fans outside of the city too. In July 2024, he dropped a track with Lil Scoom and Lil Jeff from Chicago, but both of them were killed before the track even came out. Lil Jeff was blowing up in the Chicago drill scene, but he still had both feet in the trenches. Jeff repped a set on the east side of Chicago called the Bloodhounds.
Yeah, what he said. Listen to what that man just said.
Killed before the track even came out. Lil Jeff was blowing up in the Chicago drill scene, but he still had both feet in the trenches.
But he
Jeff
still
repped a set
had
on the
both feet in the trenches.
Chicago called the Bloodhounds, and he ended up dying while sliding on their ops from Trap City. Lil Jeff also had ties to a crew called Drill City, and for a long time, they were cool with Trap City. Then a dude named Lil from Trap City allegedly set up a dude from Drill City named Z Money and got him killed. Z Money dying is what made Lil Jeff really get active in the streets, and he became one of the biggest shooters in the city. Lil Jeff's homies allegedly killed Lil from Trap City to get back for Z Money, and Jeff dissed Lil on a track and raps, "For Z Money, we got back. Ain't take too long, bitch, I'm relentless." Then after Lil died, Lil Jeff allegedly slid on 2 dudes from a set called BKN. Monty and Lil Rob both rep BKN and were standing outside of their high school when 2 shooters rolled up and killed them in broad daylight. Lil Jeff wasn't booked for the shooting, but he self-snitched about it on the track Ah and raps, "Came to leave Philly behind for good." But first he wanted to bring all his homies with him. YBC Duel said that at some point he quit dissing people so much, but the dissing is what got his name buzzing in the first place, so he couldn't just switch up overnight and lose all his fans. YBC Duel blew up off dissing his ops, and he even went viral for allegedly digging up one of his ops' graves.
Oh my God.
It turned out that it wasn't a real grave he was digging up, but everyone went crazy over the video, and there's a good chance his ops still thought it was a real grave too. The dissing put a huge target on Duel's back though, and he wasn't even safe when he was outside of Philly. Duel went out to Washington, D.C., and allegedly got into a shootout right when he got to the city. He aired out the whole situation on IG Live, but it still didn't make him switch up how he moved.
Right.
And one day before YBC Duel got killed, a YouTuber named Brandon Buckingham dropped a video he made with Duel in Philly. Duel took him all over the hood and talks about Philly, and Duel even brags about how no one had ever touched him in the streets.
Like, real niggas fuck with me. Like, the street niggas can vouch for me. Anywhere I go, nobody don't play with me. I never got robbed. I never got touched, shot at in the city.
Then just one day later, the Opps caught up to Duel and killed him in broad daylight. Along with the vlog, YBC Duel also dropped a music video with Brandon Buckingham called McBuckingham, where he continued to diss his Opps and reference to McDonald's. After Duel was killed, Brandon was getting a lot of hate online, and even DJ Academics called him out for putting himself in the middle of the beef. YBC Duel's dad also made a statement on Duel's Instagram after he was killed to clear up some of the rumors and talk about what happened. Around the same time Duel was killed, there was another video going around of a dude getting shot on the bike, and some blogs were claiming it was footage of the murder. But Duel's dad says that was not him and told people to stop spreading fake news. He also admitted that Duel wasn't a saint, and he made a lot of enemies in Philly. But Duel's dad thinks it was some kind of targeted setup, because that's the only way the shooters could get that close. K3's mom, one of the dudes who was killed in the beef that YBC had dissed, also went live on Instagram and talked about the situation. It even seemed like K3's mom was trolling Duel and said that he'd still be alive if the fans didn't gas him up. What makes the situation even worse is that Duel was on his way up and said he wanted to make a change in the city.
Right.
YBC Duel said he knew that YBC had been tearing the city up, but he wanted to give back and start building shelters and helping other people make it out of the trenches too. But before he could turn it all around and reach his full potential, Duel was tragically killed. And now the violence in Philly is probably about to turn up even more. Magnolia.
But yeah, man. But yeah. I don't know what this is. This is some other stuff.
No. YBC.
But yeah. That was dope. I was high as heck most of this video, so I would just let this one play.